I told you, there are two frogs living in Virginia that can look so identical, even scientists can't reliably tell them apart just by looking at them. Same little frog, same gray skin, same camouflage, same general appearance, different species. Welcome to one of Virginia's coolest backyard mysteries. And today, Nature is Lit is teaming up with the J. Robert Jamison Memorial Library in Virginia because September is Library Card Sign-Up Month and they're participating in science across America. So we're doing some local science. Meet Virginia's two native gray tree frogs, Cope's gray tree frog and the gray tree frog. Now look at them. Go ahead. Tell me which one is which. You can't. At least not reliably just by looking at them in the field. These two are part of what's called a cryptic species complex. And cryptic doesn't mean they're hiding government secrets. It means they're separate species that look so similar that appearance alone isn't a reliable way to distinguish them. In fact, these frogs have confused scientists for years. For a long time, their distribution and identities were tangled together in scientific reports because, well, look at them. But scientists started noticing something interesting. The frogs didn't necessarily sound the same, and that became one of the biggest clues. In the field, there are essentially two ways to distinguish these frogs: where you find them, and most importantly, their call. Cope's gray tree frog generally produces a faster, harsher trill. The gray tree frog produces a slower, more mellow trill. So imagine you're a biologist standing in the Virginia woods at night, surrounded by frogs that look identical. And your identification method is basically, all right, everybody sing. But here's where this gets even crazier. They don't just have different voices. They have a fascinating genetic difference. Cope's gray tree frog is diploid. That means it has two sets of chromosomes. But the gray tree frog is tetraploid. It has 4 sets. Same looking frog, very different situation happening inside of those cells. And scientists eventually realized those different calls actually matter to the frogs themselves. Females can discriminate between the calls, which helps keep these beautifully similar looking species reproductively separated. And there's another reason gray tree frogs are ridiculously good at confusing us. Despite the name, they aren't always gray. They can change between shades of gray, green, and brown depending on things like their surroundings and conditions. They're tiny camouflage professionals. So you've got two species that look alike, and each one can change its appearance. Nature said, good luck with the field identification. And that is what I love about science. Something as ordinary as hearing a frog outside your house can turn into questions about genetics, evolution, animal communication, behavior, and ecology. You don't have to travel across the world to find something fascinating. Sometimes the mystery is sitting on a tree right in Virginia. And if hearing all of this makes you want to know what else is living outside your front door, that's where your local library comes in. September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, and the J. Robert Jamison Memorial Library is also participating in science across America. So get up and go get your library card. Grab a field guide, grab a book, read about Virginia wildlife, then go outside and listen. Because the next frog you hear calling from a tree may be a Cope's gray tree frog or a gray tree frog. And remember, don't trust just your eyes with these frogs. You've got to hear the tea too. I'm Dr. Crystal with Nature is Lit. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, keep reading, because whether you find it outside or between the pages of a book, nature, science, and libraries are always lit and for everybody.